Shut up, bird. Ta-da! All right, well, hi guys. So it has been a while, but I did say I was going to do 3 in this series on CRUST PUNK, so here I am, number 3. I'm going to be going over the bands that you guys recommended me in the comments, some obvious oversights on my part, and I thank you very much for bringing my attention to some top-tier bands. But so I'm going to do a top 6 list of the bands that y'all recommended to me. It took me a while, but I did go through not the entire discographies of every band mentioned in there. That would be ridiculous. But a large portion of them. And so I'm going to give you my top 6, what I found from there. But first, another top 6 list. My top 6 diss bands. I know it became kind of a trope, maybe kind of tongue-in-cheek by the mid-90s, definitely by the 2000s, to name your band something starting with diss. Now, this is obviously a reference to Dischange, who are held in high regard by not only me, but almost anybody who's a fan of hard-edged punk music or thrash metal, and the influence is even found in death and black metal from those early Dischange releases. So I'm going to go through the list here. Let's see. Oh, I'm also going to make sure it's 6 diss bands that I didn't mention in either of my previous videos, which both had a couple diss bands in it. Diss band I'm going to start with, is Dischange. Now, they're from Sweden. Sweden is obviously a gold mine for the motherlode. Not necessarily the motherlode, but a motherlode for CRUST PUNK. And now, while Dischange is a band that plays CRUST PUNK, or played CRUST PUNK from Sweden, they did change their name to Meanwhile, which their work is held in a little higher regard. 6 of 1, half a dozen for me. It's mediocre, but yeah, check out Dischange. All right, definitely listenable, not bad by any means, just doesn't stand out, and neither does this one, but I wanted to put on the list because I think it's the only CRUST band from Russia that I'm familiar with, Distress. It's a more recent one, 2006, Progress, Regress. Check it out, let me know what you think. All right, now over to the other hotbed of CRUST PUNK, Japan. Now, this band has been around for a while, around for a while prior to this release from 2007. I think this is the most recent release I'm going to suggest in my whole video here. Disgust. They did a handful of splits back in the 90s and whatnot, but this from 2007 is, for me, their best work. Check it out. Still pretty damn good stuff, right? But some of you might have been like, Disgust from Japan? Don't you mean from the UK? The British, the Scottish Disgust? Well, yeah, them too. Highly recommended. Check this one out. But that made me think. I do a series, I said doo-doo, on similarly or identically named bands. Check that series out. I don't get a lot of views. Should I do one on Disgust, or you can decide here from the two samples. But there is a Disgust from Ohio, a death metal band. I think there was a French death metal band named Disgust. Maybe a German death metal band as well. But I'm probably not going to do Disgust. But yeah, you can discuss this. Check it out. Oh, right now we're really getting into the good stuff. This is Disorder. This is old school, 83 from Bristol. So these Bristolians, they had connections with Amoebics, obviously. Not as good as Amoebics, but right in that same vein. So if you dig Amoebics, check out Disorder. 83, old school. All right, and coming in number one, my favorite Dis band that wasn't mentioned in either of my previous videos is Disfear from Sweden. And this is a prime example of how you can see that punk and metal scenes were always kind of rubbing up against one another, especially in that early 90s death metal scene, that buzzsaw sound that the Death and Roll was doing really kind of came from the whole crust punk scene. So if you dig that sound, dig into some of that crust punk. Check it out.
Let's
All right, so what we got here, I printed out some of the suggestions that you guys had given me. I want to attribute them properly. So I'm going to do the top 6 of the ones you guys suggested me, and there were some damn good ones, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for so much feedback. That's why I do these. So we're going to start at number 6 here. Why didn't I put these in order? This is from 𝘯𝚒𝚂𝗿∗ I do believe I've seen you comment a couple times on my videos, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You wanted to know about my opinion of some Greek crust, which I got to say I was unfamiliar with prior to your suggestions, and I got to say panikos was a real highlight that I suggest you guys check out. He had also suggested a hibernation, but panikos is the one I'm gonna here. Check it out. Let me know what you think. All right, and from 𝘆𝚒𝚜❶, we got somebody who a big fan of 𝔯𝚒𝚜❶ also, and suggests 𝚆𝚒𝚜𝚌 from Sweden as a modern day error. Yeah, I'd say it really checked out. It delivered the goods. Let me know what y'all think. 𝚆𝚒𝚜𝚌. Yeah, pretty good stuff, right? Yeah, thanks a lot for that recommendation. And also another one here. Let's see, from 𝚒𝚒𝚉𝚉 6679, the best album ever. Now that's a pretty big recommendation, I would say. From 𝚳𝚒𝚜❶, from resignation to revolt. Now I'm not going to say best album ever, but damn good. And thank you for that recommendation. Y'all should check it out also. So yeah, what'd you think about that? Pretty good stuff. Thank you for that recommendation. Another one I want to say thank you for is this one, Wolf Brigade, recommended by NDFNQ7811. He also notes they changed their name from Wolfpack about the year 2000 or so. Wolfpack, recommended by name by, I believe, a semi-regular commenter. Who is this? 𝚒𝚒𝚂𝗿 666 DB. A regular commenter. I appreciate that. I'm going to say I prefer their first work when they were still known as Wolfpack. But something I want to note, when they changed their name, about the year 2000 or so, their first album as Wolf Brigade was Progression Regression. Very similar to that Russian band we just heard, right? I wonder, does that have something to do with like Marxist dialectics or some of that other bullshit? I have no idea. It's just interesting that it came up. But if you like that Swedish crust punk, I mean, Wolfpack is a band that, whatever reason, I didn't notice. I didn't note in my previous video, but here they are. Good stuff. All right, almost at the end here. We're at number 2, so you know this is damn good stuff. This is from Analog Archives. Mentions 𝚆𝚒𝚂𝗿, who I should have mentioned. I did mention it in my second video as an obvious oversight. In fact, I think it is the only of all these bands I've mentioned that I've actually seen live. Pretty damn good show. Who did I see him with? Drop Dead. Saw him with Drop Dead. That was an obvious oversight and dumb. Also mentions Extreme Noise Terror, ENT. Now, this wasn't an oversight. I've always kind of seen them as kind of a knockoff Napalm Death, just not as good. And I put Napalm Death in the grindcore category, so I put ENT over there in the grindcore category. I know the things blend over, but for sake of categorization, that's why they weren't mentioned here whatsoever. Somebody else had mentioned Bolt Thrower in here, and I just squarely put them in the death metal category, but I do know their early release, their demos, had a lot of crust. But without that going set, but without, well, also ENT, I'm going to admit I've had a problem with ENT ever since I first read, way back in the 90s, about, I guess, No Sense of Humor, a diss track to SOD. Like, but that guy was making a joke, just too serious. I don't know. They weren't having fun, and that having fun is a big portion of all this for me. If there's no tongue-in-cheek attitude here, what are you even doing? But anyway, number 2 from Analog Archives, Crude SS, obvious oversight, hella good stuff, early stuff. And also they have that SS trope that so many bands did. Whether or not they realized what they were doing, and I don't really get that one. Somebody let me know, why did so many bands have SS in their name? Was it just Edge? Anyway, Crude SS. right, number one, the biggest obvious oversight mentioned by the not most of you, but the largest mentioned band as an oversight on here. Mentioned by Analog Archives, who had CRUST. Hell of recommendations in that one. Who else mentioned it here? We got air quotes comedian. I must have missed the segment on Deviated Instinct. It's Deviated Instinct, yeah. One more person. I want to make sure they get credited here for drawing my attention, because that was a huge oversight. I don't know why I didn't even know about Deviated Instinct prior to that. But you guys, oh, here we are. 𝔯𝔠𝔬𝔪𝔰, the most crusty band of the 80s is Deviated Instinct. And well, I'm not necessarily going to say the most crusty band of the 80s. It is fucking good. Obvious oversight on my part. Well near the top overall for all the bands I mentioned in this whole series. If you haven't checked them out, if you had an oversight as well, check them out. Here, check them out. Now,